Hey Diablo fans, I've got a special one for you today. I'll try to keep it quick. I want to show off this tool that I made in Google Sheets. You can make a copy of it and edit it yourself. It'll basically allow you to tell which items affixes are most valuable for you. And then if you want to compare two items, you can do that as well. So how you want to start is open the sheet. I'll put a link in the description. Make a copy of it, and in this first column, there's a bunch of yellow boxes. You want to go to your character stats, either in the max roll planner or in the game itself, and just start inputting your stats. Something like vulnerable damage, critical strike damage, overpower damage. These say damage from items and paragons. So if you hover over this in your character stats, the number on the line is going to be something like 2,000 or 3,000 for overpower damage, but when you hover over it, it tells you how much of that is actually from items and Paragon. That's what you want to input here. That includes vulnerable damage, crit damage, overpower damage, all damage, core skill damage if you're using Unbridled Rage. And then you just go down here, last thing after you put all those numbers in. If you have, depending on whether you're running heavy-handed, brute force, if you have the Crusher Glyph, you can change these to 0. Banished Lord's Talisman, whatever you have on your roll, it might not be 120. Maybe you don't even have the Grandfather. You can make this 0 instead of 100%. And then the very last thing at the bottom is the estimated crit rate. So this is sort of similar to your critical strike chance, but if you're running something like the Red Ring of Furor, you may, if you have like a perfect Whirlwind HotA rotation, maybe your crit rate is 100%, even though your crit chance is not 100%. This is like, how many of your hits do you think crit? And then for estimated overpower rate, same thing. I put a 50 here because if you're doing Whirlwind HotA and you have Earth Striker and Banished Lord's Talisman and you do perfect rotation, you will get about a 50% overpower rate. Just put in all of your stats for your character, and then it'll populate this box, your affix prio. So people will say, all right, if I'm not getting crit chance on my gloves, if I'm not getting crit chance on my ring, then what's my 4 best stats? Well, for gloves, it would be, unsurprisingly, ranks of HotA, attack speed, strength, and overpower damage. So there's 3 columns, right? And the first column, we put in all of our current characters' stats. In the second column, if you have the option of equipping 2 different weapons, the weapon that you currently have equipped that you're considering dropping, its stats go in this middle column labeled remove item. And the item that you're interested in equipping to replace the one that you currently have, that new item, you can put that in the column add item. And then up here, it'll give a percentage. Like, why don't I just throw some numbers in here? For example, maybe my current weapon has 100 strength, 50 all stats, 10 berserk damage, and 80 overpower damage. And the weapon I'm trying to consider against that one has 14% berserk damage, 120 strength, 70 stats, but only 40 overpower damage. So it's hard to know just from looking at these stats which weapon's better, but with this sheet, it can actually tell you which one is better. So the new item will increase your DPS 12.19%. The old item only increases your DPS 10.96%. So that means the new item is a little bit better. So that's the sheet. I hope you find this helpful. If you have any questions about it, you can leave me a question in the comments. Find me on Sanctuary Discord or Max Roll Discord. Go to catch me on Twitch. You can ask questions there and chat. And I'm happy to help. All right, let me know what you think.